What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for One Piece, the last piece of One Piece, chapter 1019. Let's get underway with this one because honestly, this chapter, alright, I now know the sequence of events that we're going to have for the next couple chapters, guys. I guarantee you, next chapter, here's what's going to happen. We're going to see Brook and Robin versus Black Maria. We're going to see the end of that fight too. See, this is what Oda's now doing, and a lot of people might be upset at this, but at least we're seeing the fights themselves at all. But pretty much this chapter opens up with, actually, I just have to say right now, the Shonen Jump cover, amazing. The Where's Waldo, sort of Where's Luffy Waldo, sort of crazy like map thing. I mean, I had a fun time looking for them. I did find them. But yeah, that was a lot of fun and stuff like that. And then this beautiful color spread with just the straw hats, and of course the ladies in bikinis, Jinbei surfing away with his crew and stuff, Zoro down there, like just a really nice cover page. I really like that one especially. Now, the rest of this chapter opens up with, we see Sanji is still fighting Queen. We see Luffy finally wakes up, screaming for meat on the submarine. So we know that Luffy's going to be back in the fight in probably 4 or 5 chapters by now. 4 or 5. I don't think he's coming back next chapter. I don't think he's coming back the chapter after that. I think it's going to be at least 3 chapters before we see Luffy actually come back to the fight, right? But that being said, because they're going to try to get meat on him, whether they have meat on the damn submarine, who knows? And also we see that Zoro, they're trying to unwrap all the bandages, but Sanji did such a crazy job wrapping them up. They're like, what do we do? So, and Zoro even says like, hey, stick me with the needle after you get me out of the bandages, not before. We're wasting time here. Like that's just stupid. Like, do you even know what the hell you're doing? So then we jump over, and because we had the Who's Who's fight versus Jinbei, and we know that that is the end of that fight, that Who's Who was defeated, Jinbei won. So there's another Topiropo down. This chapter, basically, after that little introduction piece and the little slide at the ending piece, the main bulk of the chapter is Frankie finally finishing off Sasaki. Now, the thing is here is that we get to see a hybrid form, we get to see him spin. Like, it's ridiculous, and I love that Frankie even calls him out. How are you even able to do that with the Triceratops thing in his hybrid form is like a propeller, and he boom, 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 like a helicopter, boom. You know, the fight itself, while not bad and pretty cool, I think that big Frankie fans like Tekken 101 and people like that are going to have a field day with this fight, and they'll describe it in chunks and stuff. But honestly, like the Jinbei fight, I'm not going to describe every single move that happens. Just read the damn chapter, right? Like, I'm not going to describe all the things. All I'm going to point out is that I thought that Frankie was actually going to lose this fight. I thought that Sasaki was stronger than Frankie. I think relatively he probably is, and if they tried to go again, maybe Frankie would lose. But Sasaki, for all intents and purposes, by the looks of it, is down and out at the end of this fight. So that's the thing, I guess, you know. So that's Who's Who is down, Sasaki is down, X-Drake is on their side, Page 1, Ulti, all that's left is Black Maria. So what Oda seems to be doing is, while showing us a few things, Kaido versus Yamato at the end of this chapter, and of course seeing the Queen, and we don't know what's going really on with Marco and King right now, but we can assume they're still fighting. We might see some of that. But we're sort of wrapping up the Topiropo fights. We're wrapping up all the commanders. You have the 6 Topiropo, X-Drake defected, and you have the commanders. So we're probably going to see the Black Maria fight or the Jack Inarashi fight. We're going to see those fights next chapter and the chapter after that. We're going to clear up that Black Maria falls. The Topiropo are going to fall by basically chapter 120, 121. The Topiropo are all going to be down, other than X-Drake, who defected, of course. And then we're going to move on to finishing off the commanders. Sanji. Zoro will probably help Sanji once he gets out of the bandages, take down Queen finally. I didn't need your help, Mosshead. Yeah, you fucking did. And then that'll be the end of that. And then we're going to jump back into sort of, because the war might still go on with the fodder, but we need to see that the commanders are all taken out. We need to see the Topiropo taken out. We need to see the commanders taken out. That's what we need to see, and that's what we're wrapping up. So this tells me that Act 3 is coming to its climax. We're probably going to start Act 4 in the next 10 chapters. We're probably going to start Act 4 soon, because it seems like Oda is taking a chapter and a half to wrap up the main fights that all the Straw Hats and all the main characters are involved in, to wrap them up so that we can get back to the Yonko versus the main cast. That's going to be the thing, right? So, That's just my prediction. Maybe he'll jump away for chapter 1020. Oda will jump away, and he'll bring in, like, we'll see Marco versus King and Kid and Law versus Big Mom for a chapter. Maybe. And then the end part of the chapter will be Luffy re-arriving on Wano. Maybe. I don't know, but it seems like he's trying to wrap up all the fights relatively quickly. So, because we've seen the fights, we've seen the battle, this has been chaos of a war for over a year now. It's like, all right, let's end these fights. Let's end these battles, because the main thing is still the rooftop gang. The main thing is still Yonko versus the new generation, and we still need to see the actual definitive winner at the end of Wano, or how Wano is going to end. We don't know. Will there be a clear winner? Will Big Mom survive? Will Kaido survive? Will Yamato survive? We don't know. And speaking of Yamato, end of the chapter, I've heard a lot of people don't like the design. I believe at first I was like, looks sort of like a fox mink, sort of idea. I wasn't entirely sure, but by the looks of it, with the claws and the paws and stuff, it looks like it could either be a wolf devil fruit, or it could be what a lot of people are saying, where Kaido is the Azura dragon and stuff, and of course Digimon already did this thing years ago. But you have your phoenix, you have your turtle, you have your tiger, and you have your dragon. It would make sense if she was a tiger. So this could be her hybrid. Of course, Kaido is in his hybrid form. This is a hybrid form. We knew she had a devil fruit. We saw that with the Sasuke thing and stuff like that. So we knew she had a devil fruit. We knew she had a zone. And now, according to Kaido, he spent we spent years trying to find that fruit and stuff. And Yamato's just like, I just ate it because I was hungry, But I'm going to go sail the seas and blah, blah, blah. Still proclaiming to be Odin and all that fun jazz with Yamato. Yamato for Straw Hat, of course, well over Carrot. But I mean, furry is a furry is a furry is a furry, really, realistically, right, guys? I mean, am I right or am I right? You're either a furry for wanting Carrot on the Straw Hats, but now officially you're also a furry if you want Yamato. So, I mean, you just can't win. I just want Yamato on the crew regardless. So, the thing is that this is probably the white tiger zone fruit. It's probably an ancient, the mythical zone for white tiger. I don't know, the Byakko. I don't really know how to say the name. It's Byakko, something like that. The Byakko, the tiger with the two tails, or there's also the tiger with the one tail. So there's a lot of stuff. Anyways, point of the matter is that it's probably the hybrid form of the tiger zone, the mythical tiger zone. And a lot of people think it looks ugly. I think it looks kind of cool, considering a lot of hybrid forms like Sasuke's looks sort of... I don't really care for Sasuke's, to be honest with you. I thought that hybrid form looked kind of stupid. Same with Who's Who. I think that their zone forms look cool. I think a lot of the hybrid forms don't look that cool. Honestly, the one that got critiqued the most, which was Kaido's, I think looks at least the most badass and makes the most sense. Most of them just seem to be, okay, I'm going to be a Triceratops, but I'm going to stand on two legs. That's their hybrid. Same with Who's Who. I'm going to be a saber-toothed tiger, I'm going to get fat, and I'm going to stand on two legs. Like, the hybrid forms don't seem to be a combination of human and an animal. They seem to literally just be an animal on two legs. A four-legged animal on two legs seems to be the case for Sasuke and Who's Who. And now it was sort of the same thing with a lot of people. But now Yamato's at least looks a little different. There's a little more humanoid aspects to hers. And same with Kaido's. Kaido doesn't, like, he's got the scales and the teeth and the horns and the claws, but he's not a fucking dragon, right? Like, he's a hybrid of a dragon. So, honestly, for people complaining about Kaido's hybrid form, and for people complaining about Yamato's hybrid form, I think that they look like some of the best. Honestly, X-Drake's and theirs are some of the best. I mean, of course, Chopper and stuff, but, like, seriously, Black Maria's hybrid form, that's literally half spider, half female, I think, if that's her hybrid form. I don't know. Is that her zone form? I have no idea. Who's Who and Sasuke, as I said, just look like fat versions of the animals they are on two legs instead of actually combining the two traits. And so I didn't like either one of those. So actually, I kind of like this form. Some people think it's ugly. I think it looks kind of cool. And Yamato for Straw Hat, of course. So... yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about the chapter. Frankie won the fight. It was a pretty decent fight, but I don't really care about that fight. The fight that I care about, I want to see Zoro back in action. Of course, I knew I knew that like the main fights are going to be against like King, Queen, and Kaido. Those are the fights that we want to see, and Big Mom, of course, as well. We need to see those fights. Those are the fights that we really care about. I'm not going to be upset to see Robin and Brooke beat Black Maria. That's going to be fine too. So as I said, I'm not going to take away from this chapter by saying that we didn't need to see this. Of course, we needed to see this, but I just don't really have a whole lot to say. Frankie won. That's cool. That's good. The fight was okay. Let's move on. But I wasn't super hyped to see the fight anyways. If that fight had been off screen and we found out that Frankie beat Sasaki, fine dandy with me, realistically. So some people don't have that opinion. Some people want like every single shot of every fight to happen. We're not going to get that, but at least we're sort of, Oda is trying to appease everybody, trying to show all the Straw Hats getting their due here in Wano. So there is also that. But yeah, I guess that's the end of the chapter. Yamato and Kaido are still facing each other down, still fighting. They had some good speeches towards each other and stuff. No big like lore drops in this chapter or anything worth discussing. So that was chapter 1019. I thought it was a pretty decent chapter. Not the best chapter, of course. The bulk of it was taken up by Frankie's fight, which, as I said, I didn't really care about. It sort of disappointed in Sasaki and Sasaki's hybrid form. Sort of disappointed in that. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. And don't forget to drink responsibly as always. And we will see you guys again next time. See you back here for chapter 1020. No break next week. See you next time.